So we use black box therapy. Well, it was first used for cocaine withdrawals, and then they found it helps people through alcohol withdrawals or opiate withdrawals. It can also be a good stress reliever as well, because often stress is often a part of how come people use substances. So it's a TENS machine, and instead of acupuncture needles, we just use a TENS machine with some sticky pads and some ear clips.
So what I can see in front of me is two little grey boxes with dials, two little leads with things that look like pegs on them. The last time I was near a TENS machine was when I was about to give birth. So I'm not scared of what's ahead of us, but how does it actually work? What comes out of these boxes?
Well, it's a small electrical pulse which will work on the acupuncture meridians, and this can help the body to be soothed, because often when people are reducing a substance or tapering down alcohol, for instance, there may be a transition period where people may feel some physical distress or something like that. So the black box can help people through that transition.
And how many sessions do people need before they notice any difference?
Well, some people notice a difference immediately. They maybe report things like, "Oh, I slept really well last night," or but often we encourage people to have up to 10 sessions.
And how long does each session take?
Each session is, well, we give each person an hour. So obviously people will need time to chat about what's happening for them and have the black box session, then have a bit of a wind down afterwards.
Okie dokie, shall we give it a go?
Let's give it a go.
And what's going to happen first, Phil? What are we going with
So
first?
these sticky pads go on an acupressure point on the hand.
So I've literally got a sticky pad on my right hand and a sticky pad on my left hand.
And then we use a point on the ear, which helps with sleep and stress reduction. So I'm just going to pop these little clips on now.
So I'm hoping that this is going to mean I'm going to start sleeping like a baby.
There we go. Does that feel okay? Comfortable?
All feels okay so far.
Great. So I'm going to begin with the hands.
Okay.
And you just let me know when you can feel anything.
Yeah.
Obviously just going to start really slowly and gently. Anything yet?
No. Oh, right, so I have got little buzzing like little fluttery feelings in both hands.
And is that level comfortable? It's not supposed to hurt, it's supposed to be just in a nice comfort zone, but you can sense it but not.
So it's kind of faded down a bit. It was a bit stronger and now it's sort of almost disappeared, so it can maybe turn up a little bit.
How's that?
That's all right.
And you're really in charge of the levels, so
Yep.
Whatever is comfortable for you.
Okay, so I've got both hands feeling like they've got a gentle sort of like pulse going on. Is there any way to sort of explain it?
Yeah. And is that comfortable?
Absolutely perfect.
Great. So you okay if we do the ears now?
Okay, let's do the ears.
So same thing.
Oh, it's a very different feeling on the ears. It's almost like little butterfly kisses. It's so gentle.
Often people report it is quite pleasant. People, it's not supposed to hurt or be uncomfortable. It's just quite a comfortable, as you say, sensation.
And what's the science behind stimulating these points?
There's different frequencies we use. So it was first used for cocaine withdrawals. Obviously, cocaine is a stimulant, so that you can set the frequency of the box to high frequency, because that helps people through stimulant withdrawals.
Okay.
And then obviously for things like alcohol or opiates, you use a much lower frequency, because they're, stimulants are uppers, you could say, or alcohol and opiates are kind of downers, so a lower frequency to help people through withdrawals for those. But actually they found over time that it doesn't just help with withdrawals, it actually helps with stress reduction as well. So we sometimes use it on our family support clients who are family members of people using substances, because often they're experiencing very high stress levels because of the situation.
Okay.
It's good to give people the choice of the kind of treatment route that they want to go down. So some people prefer to talk, or some people are fed up of talking. They'd rather just work with something like this, because it works to soothe the body. Because oftentimes we overthink and we think a lot, which causes a lot of stress in the body or adrenaline. So this is a way to just soothe the body.
So I should be feeling very chilled by the time we get to the end of this little taster session. I'm just wondering, obviously you're having to work very differently at the moment in CADAS. Have you as an individual working for the charity, seen an increase in the number of people being referred or self-referring?
Yeah, there's a lot more people coming in with things like isolation, stress, or worries about the future, the current situation. It's definitely up the numbers.
And are you seeing an increase in any particular type of substances that?
Well, there's a mixture of substances, but alcohol tends to be the one that people are most familiar with. You know, it's part of our culture. You go into any supermarket, there's offers on the alcohol, and sometimes it's a question of people may just have a glass of wine after work, and then that can sometimes, not always of course, but sometimes that can build up and build up and build up because tolerance can go up. So what in the start is a kind of a stress reducer can actually become a problem in itself. Whereas at CADAS we tend to teach people more drug-free ways to relax.
What sort of things could people do who might be listening to start to reduce their levels of stress, and what could they look to use as opposed to alcohol?
Yeah, because often, you know, at school most of us are not taught how to relax. So it's a skill that anybody can learn, I believe, but often we need to be just taught how to relax. And often we use things here like, obviously we've got the black box we're using today, we offer things like mindfulness as well, just as ways for people to do it without a substance.
And do you find that the black box works with your clients? Does it turn around, you know, people's addictions?
We get great feedback from the black box from clients.
And is there any chance it's just placebo, that, you know, it's not actually, it's just because you think it's going to have worked?
That's a great question. I mean, if it works, I guess. There is quite a few studies that show it does work, but, you know, it does things like helps with releasing endorphins and serotonin, so we may well feel better after a session. Because often we run on adrenaline, which gives us the fight or flight response, and this is often when people use a substance to try and dampen that anxiety down, whereas this does it in a natural way.
It'll be very interesting to see, sort of, you know, come tea time tonight, whether when I sit down for my supper, whether I fancy a glass of wine or whether I sleep through without waking up several times before breakfast. Well, I shall report back. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.